Good afternoon, everybody, on this lovely hot Saturday afternoon. That's it, I'm just making sure I'm open on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can watch me in both places today. Now we know how to do it, which is bloody marvellous. So I'll give you all a minute to get logged in, as usual. Where are we? Here we go. Hi, Judy. So I'm flicking between two screens again. Hi, Emma. Hi, Kathleen. I think we're on Facebook as well, which will be a bit of a bonus. So I'm just hanging on till everybody gets logged in. You're just not used to me being on time. That's what it is. Where are you all? Hi, Debbie. Oops, I just clicked the wrong button. Hi, Joanne. Hi, David. Right, so people are starting to get logged in now, so let's hang on just a minute before I start going through everything. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Ilona. Ilona, have your stamps come today? Hi, Lynn. Hi, Bev. Hi, Marlene. So I was talking to people on both Facebook and on YouTube, so still early, so I'm just going to let everybody get logged in first. Hi, Sue. Hi, Helen. Hi, Di. Keeping cool, I'm not. I've got the fan on, you can probably hear it in the background, but I can't turn it off. Hi, Caroli. Remind you, you need to check the buns in 10 minutes. Oh my God, imagine asking me to remind you. I usually ask you what to remind me things. Yes, good. I'm glad they've arrived. So they've arrived for everybody else as well. Hi, Denise. Hi, Anne. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Gail. It is a very hot day. I've got a shirt on, but the sleeves are up and the buttons are all undone. Hi, Anne. The buttons are all undone except for one. Hi, June. Right, everybody's starting to get in. So just in case people think I'm talking to myself, obviously I'm not. We're streaming on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time. So it just means I've got to flick between the two different tabs on the computer so I can see what everybody is saying on both places. Buy an air cooler. Oh, that's a good idea. Mind you, if I try and buy one now, Denise, the prices have probably shot up by loads. I'll be watching on YouTube on the telly so I can do your ironing at the same time. Ironing. Hi, Shell. Right, so everybody's starting to get logged in now. I've got no trousers on, no, but I've got my pyjama bottoms on. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Avril. Right, everybody's starting to get logged in now. So before we start, I'll remind you to like the post, whether you're watching it on Facebook or on YouTube. So like and share for me today. It is too hot. Hopefully the weather will change a little bit tomorrow and we'll get a bit of reprieve between all this heat. I don't actually mind it when I'm not working. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, that's good, Joanne. So I don't actually mind the heat when I'm not working in it. It's when you're working in it that it's bad. Like in my craft room, the curtains have been closed in my craft room for, well, since we did the YouTube live last week, because I get the sun in the morning and I also get it in the afternoon. My screen looks like it's skewy, so hopefully it won't send you all seasick. So I'm going to do the usual thing. It's a really, really pretty card today. So there's lots to show you. So I'm gonna do the usual thing, and I'm gonna quickly go through everything that I'm using today, just so you've got a head start. So before I start, I've got a new phone. I dropped my mobile in the garden last week, so I had to order a new one. Cracked the screen. So does this picture look better? Because I think it does. I think it looks really, really sharp. So it might be that the camera's better on this new phone. So it's an iPhone 13 now from a 7. So it looks really good on both of my screens. Whoa! Since Thursday this week. No, before that then, Jennifer. Hi Rose, I am darling, thank you. I hope you are too. It's forecast to be 32 at 2 p.m. I know. Right, so let's quickly start running through what I'm using, just so it gives you a head start. So there are a couple of things on here that I've just had back in stock. So I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. It's a really pretty card, this. It's not going to be a quick one, but it won't be the longest either. Say that every time, and every time it ends up being longer. So where shall I start? So I'm going to start with the chalk pastes. So these are what we used the other night. The other night I used the cocoa and the cocoa and russet. And today the theme is lavender. So I've got the lavender field, or lavender fields. And I've also got the kingdom moss, because these two colours are absolutely beautiful together. And I can't tell you how much I love these pastes. I mean, I did go on about it when we did the live the other night. So I'm aware that they are $10.99 a pot, but they last for ages. And these are really the top end of the market when it comes to paste. Absolutely fabulous finish. And I'm just going to show you the colours. I did a little swatch for you. That's what they look like from underneath, but they do dry a little bit darker. So this is what they look like in real life. So you've got the lavender fields there, which is, it's almost like a bluebell lavender, which is probably why I'm drawn to it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour. And then you've got the kingdom moss on the right. Those, I mean, they're just beautiful together, aren't they? And they're just applied on with a spatula, which I'm going to be doing today, as well as through a stencil. And that chalky finish is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So lavender fields and kingdom moss are the two colours I'm using today. And to go with that, I've got two different choices of distress oxides. So I'm probably going to use these because Dusty Concord is a really good match for the lavender fields. So Dusty Concord and Forest Moss, which I am going to use. But you could also go Rustic Wilderness and Villainous Potion. So they will go quite nicely as well, look. So I'm just giving you some colour options while I'm hoping to come to the Sheffield shop on Wednesday. I've been saving. Well, I'll be there on Wednesday, David. I've got the workshop, so you'll see me if you come on Wednesday. So good afternoon to everybody I've not spoken to, because I'm trying to flick between two places now. There is a little bit of a time delay between YouTube and Facebook. So that is the lavender fields and the kingdom moss. And I already know, because I've checked the stock with the girls at the shop today, that we've only got about 4 of the lavender and we've only got 3 of the kingdom moss left in stock. So apologies, it's going to be fastest fingers first for whoever gets these. I am going to do a restock of these because since I used them last week, everybody's gone mad for them, and it's quite nice that you can just buy 1 or 2 and collect them as you go, so you don't have to get them all at once. So I'm going to keep these in stock as much as I can, and I know some of the colours have sold out already. So I'm going to pop Villainous Potion and Rustic Wilderness out of the way. I'm also using the oxide sprays in Dusty Concord and Forest Moss, so we know we'll get a good colour match, or a perfect colour match. I'm going to show you these again because I love these. They're very dusky, very chalky. I think that's why I'm drawn to them. You know I like chalky finishes. I'm back in stock after being out of stock for months. Are the Essential Sentiment Elegance Script Essential Sentiment dies, which is the one with your happy birthday, with love, best wishes, especially for you, someone special, with the lacy, the delicate and the shadow. So this is how you're going to get these. They're going to come on an A4 magnetic sheet. They've been out of stock for months, and I wasn't going to reorder them because I've reordered them once already, but I have. So this is the last time I'm going to be getting the Essential Sentiments in stock. And for those of you that have asked me, I promise you the relatives are in production. So as soon as I get them, I will let you know, because I have done relative dies to match these. And as soon as they hit the country, I will put them on the website. And I've done a female set, a male set, and an additional set. So that's the Elegant Script Essential Sentiments. And I'm also using the Lacylicious. I didn't think we'd got any of these left. So I'm going to tell you right from the start that there's only about 10 of these left. And then I'm not having them again. They're not in an A4 sheet. They are on an A5. I've got 2 sets on here. I've got 2 sets on there, so I just printed myself an A4 insert to put on the back. So these are the Elegance, yeah, the Lacylicious Elegance flower dies, which I haven't used for ages, but I've literally about 10 of them left, and they won't be back. I'm also using the big background, and this time we're going, so this is a very pretty card, and I wanted to bring the numbers in here and the text and the all the dimension you get from this stamp. So this is the big background, numbers and letters, which is a beautiful background to use for your masculine cards, for anybody really. You can use it for any kind of project. So you can see both. You can see that it'll work for both, and everybody's covered. Also, they were telling me at the shop yesterday that because I'm using this today, you can get this stamp, the numbers and letters. So numbers and letters, you can get it for $9.99 instead of $14.99 today only. So if you get it before midnight today, you're going to save a £5 off this. So pop it in your basket. I've put links to everything in the description for the YouTube live and the Facebook live, so you should have links to everything in there. I'm also using the cascading circles, and I have told you already that these are back in stock, and about a quarter of that has gone already. So cascading circles won't be back after this current stock has gone, so get it if you haven't got it. I'm not using much on this card today, just for a change. I'm using the Slender Collection Inverted Corner DL dies. And you will get these on a DL magnetic sheet, not an A5. It's just because I put them on A5. And because you all couldn't decide, I've got both of these out today. So we've got the Shabby Butterflies and the Shabby Dragonflies. I am only going to be using one or the other, but I'll decide when we get to that stage. So I'm using one or either of those today. I'm using the Lock and Keys, which you know are one of my favourites that I've done this year. So the Locks and Key dies I'm using today. Sorry, Elaine. Well, you've got a £5 off the numbers and letters. It's just a useful stamp to have. I've not done it, that's too generous. The girls have done it at the shop. I'm also using this, I don't know whether you've seen these, I do use them intermittently. So on the website, if you go to the Studio Light category, you'll see that we've got stencils from Studio Light, and these grunge ones are just fabulous. And this one I've got here is called number 35. And it's got like broken diamonds in there, shabby diamonds. So I'm going to be using that. I'll leave that to one side. It takes me forever to go through all this, doesn't it? But it's better for me to show you at the beginning, because then you know exactly what I'm using. I'm also using the greyboard as well from the compendium kit with the flourishes. And I've not done yet. I'm also using the 7x5 embossing folder with the butterflies on, if I use the butterflies dies. If I don't use the butterfly dies, I've used the Flourish 7x5 embossing folder. So if we're having dragonflies, it will be this one. If we're having butterflies, it will be this one. Too many choices. Too many choices. And there's one other thing I need to show you, which I've left over here. Let me just grab it. Oops. I've lost it. I've got it. Oh, I'm back. So the giveaway today. So I'm doing another little giveaway. I quite like doing these little giveaways. So I thought this would be a nice change. I don't normally give things away that are really current. Ilona's asking me about the quality of the stencils from Studio Light. They're like the All and Create ones, so they're a lot thinner than mine are, for example. They're a lot thinner than mine are, but they do the job. They do the job. As long as you can get some texture from them, that's all you need to know, isn't it? So here we go. So somebody from YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, somebody will win this one at the end, which is the Vintage Snowflakes journal page. A5 background stamp worth 15 quid. And if you're watching on Facebook, somebody will win the Vintage Stars journal page, which is again worth 15 quid. So I'll choose the names from the comments at the end, and we will see how we've got. We'll see how we go. Right, let's get a drink and get started. So this is the basic layout of this card. So it is an oversized DL. You know I like the oversized DLs. So you wouldn't get this in an envelope. You would have to get it put it in a box. Oh, I'm roasting. Absolutely roasting. In fact, I'm undoing the one button that's fastened on my shirt. In fact, the shirt will probably be off in a minute. So this is the basic layout we've got for this project tonight. And these are the extra bits. So these are the extras that I'm going to be using. We're going to start with the pastes, because the pastes need a second to dry. Well, they need a few minutes to dry. So I'm going to put all these bits to one side, and we're going to go for the top layer. So let's take those off. So this is the top layer, which is the inverted corner. It's the inverted corner. Come on, Phil, put your teeth in. It's the inverted corner DL dies, and we're going to use the paste on here through this stencil, and we're going to do my usual trick, which is the top corner, bottom corner, and the two different colours of paste. So I am going to blend them into each other. You are funny. So we're going to go in with the lavender first. So really, this is, I showed you what this looks like in real life. I think they should have called it bluebell rather than lavender, because it's a proper deep lavender colour. I think it could have done with being, lavender to me is a little bit lighter. This is a bluebell purple, like a bluey purple. It's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to go in with both colours, top and bottom, and I'm just going to do a little bit down each corner. So things to bear in mind when you're using the chalk paste. I'm just going to get both out. There's loads in it as well, and you'll see I'm only actually using what's on the lid. So I'm not even going to be dipping into the pot just yet. And it is a water-based product, so it comes straight off your fingers and your clothes and what have you. So we've got a bit of two-tone going on already. Without even trying. Facebook kept freezing, so switched to YouTube. So far, no freezing. I think that's the difference, isn't it? So you got pros and cons for both platforms really. I actually think that the picture is better on YouTube than it is on Facebook. And Anne has just moved from Facebook to watch on YouTube, and she says it was freezing on Facebook. So it's entirely up to you. Put it on your screen, it's grey. No, it's definitely not grey. Let me see if I can show you the colour in the pot. It's definitely not grey. It's a lovely deep dusky, well, it looks like dusty Concord. It looks like dusty Concord. So let's get some of this on. I'm going to do the lavender first. I'm just trying to get that straight. And I want it a little bit tatty. I don't want it filling in everywhere. And I'm going to do the green at the same time. I'm going to try and get this bit of green that's got the purple in it. So I'm going to overlap, because you can. And what happens is, this is such a good quality product that it keeps the colours stay true. So where I've overlapped, I mean, that looks amazing. Where I've overlapped with the Kingdom Moss, that will stay green. It won't bleed into each other. I'll bring it in closer when I've done the both and show you. It's not green, it's not grey, I promise you. So I'm going to do the same up here. So we've got matching corners. Oops. Oh. It's a good job I'm going for Shabby today, isn't it? Because that's what we've got. Don't pick your stencils up while you're using them. It won't matter. And then a little bit of the green. See if I can use what's on my mat. This has already started to dry. And that will do it nicely, thank you very much. So I'm not going to put that bit back in my pot because it's contaminated. Get the lids on. I'm going to use that again in a bit because we're going to colour the flowers with it. Oops. We're going to water this down and colour the flowers with it. And I promise you, it's not a messy job like I'm doing. Look. So you can do all the usual things with this. Ignore that. I'll show you the top corner that looks better. So this is starting to dry now, chalky. When I take a proper photo later, when the card is all dry and everything, you'll be able to see the colour better. So I'm just going to pop this to one side and let that dry. It's already starting to dry. And I'm going to clean this stencil. It does wash off really easily, so if you leave it to dry on the stencil, it won't matter. It's a good job it's water based. It's a good job I've got plenty of wipes at the side. There we go. So that's that. That can go to one side because that's done with for now. And now we're leaving that to dry. And what we're going to do with that, once that's dried, is we're going to dust gesso over the top. So you could use the foundry waxes that we used the other night. You could use those over the top. I've put the lids on the wrong tubs. There we go. Luckily the colours I put inside were right. Never use stencils, think it's time to give them a go. Shell, you absolutely need to. There's loads you can do with stencils. Right, so let's just have a quick flick at Facebook. Although just comparing the two YouTubers a few seconds behind Facebook. Yeah, that's right, Leslie. That's right. I don't know why, but it is. You know what it's like. You know me and technology are not the best of friends. Oh, let me get a drink. I'm absolutely sweating. Hang on. I'm using one of these wipes on myself now. I've just banged the camera. Sorry if I knocked you dizzy. I'm just mopping my brow, as you do. That's better. Right, so before I move on, I'm just making sure I've got none of the paste on my fingers, because we're doing the stamping next. So, just while we're talking about the pastes, and Di, if you're watching, I know you'll probably want this. So the order that will be coming in a few weeks has the iron gate, which is the black one, and the iron gate was out of stock when I did the original order, so nobody has got the iron gate. Right, so I've got a couple of layers here from the inverted corner DL dies, and we're going to stamp. So that's the embossing folder if we're going with butterflies. Isn't that lovely? That little 7x5 embossing folder. And that's the embossing folder if we go with the dragonflies. So they both look fab. I think I'm going to have to not took the shirt off yet. I'm not far off, Teresa, I must admit. Hiya, Chrissy, how are you, darling? Might nod off, so I might need to shout at you. Bev, have you checked your buns? Cara's saying stamping and stenciling are the two things that she's not confident with when paper crafting. Just have a go, Cara. If you've got a stamping platform, stamping just makes it so much easier now. That it makes it so much easier. So we're now going to take the big background stamp with the numbers and the letters on, and we're going to stamp onto this piece here. And I'm going to do this second generation, so I just need another bit of kitchen roll. Bear with. I swear my desk gets smaller, or I've got more stuff on it. So I'm doing this second generation, and I'm going to do this freehand as well. I'm not going to do it on the stamping platform because I want it to be shabby with bits missing. Phill, I have the chalky white paste. Can I add your mica powders to change the colour? Possibly, Christine. Christine on YouTube is just asking me if she can use my mica powders, my powders for changing the colour of the chalky white. Possibly, but you would probably have to use a lot of the colour to dilute it, because the pastes are already chalky, so they're going to absorb all the mica before it actually changes the colour. So you're probably better using an ink mister. You'll definitely lose the sparkle from the mica. Definitely will lose the sparkle from the mica with the chalk paste, because it just negates the mica. You're probably better with an oxide spray, but only do a little bit. When you're adding a liquid to a liquid, you need to not do too much. Right, so I want this side here, so I'm going to use this side here, and I'm going to avoid the strip. So I'm just going on with the Dusty Concord, and I'm just going over everywhere. And I want some bits heavy and some bits patchy. And then I'm going to go in with the forest moss. So forest moss is a bit of a browny green, but it is one of my favourites. So I'm just adding bits of forest moss over the dusty concord. And remember, the Distress Oxide Dusty Concord is a little bit lighter than the Distress Ink Dusty Concord. So I'm going to take off the top layer of ink. I'm going to pop that in place. And just bring that towards me a little bit. And pop that on there. So remember, this is just a background. It doesn't need to be really sharp. It's just texture. Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, that's lovely. I'm happy with that, thank you very much. I'm just cleaning my stamp. I'll bring that in and show you. So this is obviously more purple. Forest moss and dusty concord are just lovely together. It's confusing me because I'm looking at YouTube. Which is behind Facebook. In fact, actually, Facebook is behind what I'm doing in real life. Can you get comments on your TV while watching on YouTube? I'm not actually sure. What size is the strip? What size is the strip? I will read your comments later, so don't panic. So the strip is from the dies 5.5 by 17. 5.5 by 17. So we've got the ink on there now. And you know what I'm going to do to it? I'm going to give it a very light misting with water. I'll do a little bit more. Just so that it starts to bleed a bit. That's it, lovely. So now that will pull the colour out from the oxides and bleed a little bit. So I'm going to pop that to one side and let that dry. There's a lot to do today. Let me just think which bit I need to do next. Do I do the flowers next, or do I do the background? No, we'll do the background. So there are, although it's a small card for me, I've actually got five layers on this card. So I'm going to ignore this one because I want this one pure white, but on this one here, we're going to put some of the chalk paste freehand. I'll just open this up. So we're going to go in freehand with this. Let me just see what's happening to the other bit. Oops, I've just stuck my finger in it. Oh, that's lovely. That's drying quite nicely. I know you can't see the purple, but I promise you it's purple. That's drying very nicely. Thank you very much. So I'm going to use the paste again. I should have done it at the beginning, really. And I'm going to go freehand. So this time I'm just taking the spatula and I'm just going to do a little bit around the edges. So what we're trying to get is a bit of texture around these layers. It's like plastering. Not that I've ever done any plastering. Can you imagine? Oh, that's hilarious. Phil's doing an online workshop in plastering. I'll bring this in and show you in a second because I'm trying to add texture. You're only going to see the very ends of this. So I've got way too much on here. Or I've gone in far too far is what I mean. So I'm just stippling it a little bit just so we get some dimension. And I'll clean this. And then I'm going to go with the green. I don't normally make this amount of mess. I'm going to go in with the green, Kingdom Moss. Remember, this is all going to have gesso over it in a bit. So this is literally adding the texture, adding the colour. It's all in the process. We all say trust the process. So we'll leave a few little white bits. And when I say a few, I mean a few. I can't see what you're saying just yet because I'm doing this, but I will have a look. I will have a look in a bit. Now, you know when I told you it was going to be a pretty card? I bet you're looking at this thinking, what the heck? But trust me. Trust me. This will be fabulous by the time we've finished. Well, I'll leave that there because we'll do the flowers next. So this is also going to go on the floor. So that's what I've got, look. Oh, you can just see it's purple if I just angle it properly. So we've got texture going on there. Like it's stippled, so I'm going to chuck that in the box. And we're going to do the flowers now. Let me just clean my hands. No, you can't imagine me plastering. Can you imagine him using this thing? I would hate it, yeah. I would. Well, I've cleaned my hands at every bloody opportunity. I don't mind getting dirty as long as I can wash it off. Like this doesn't even leave a stain on your hand. So that's marvellous for me. Right, hang on 1 minute, the shirt is coming off. The shirt is off. Right, I don't know if I feel any better for it or not. So we're going to use the paste now on the flower. So I'm going to show you another way to use this paste. We're going to water it down and we're going to paint effectively these flowers. Use your finger. No, I'm not sticking my finger in this. So we've got these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Elegance Lacylicious flowers, which I love, love, love the Lacylicious flowers. Love them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some in green, some in purple. So we'll have a green one, a green one, oops, a green one. That's going to be green, that's looking into. That's going to be purple. That's going to be green. That's going to be green. I'll just get my tweezers because I'm doing it everywhere. That's going to be green, and the rest are going to be purple. I'll leave a couple of white ones as well. So let me put one back. So that's going to be white, that's going to be white, that's going to be white. They're going to be purple. Yeah, that works for me. So we're going to have a mixture of green and white flowers. So I'm going to take my little stipply brush. Hi Joe, so good afternoon to everybody I've not spoken to already. Put that lid back on before you stick your shirt. I've took the shirts off. So there's no chance of me getting the shirt on anything. So I'm going to take a little bit of this paste with a stippling brush this time. I'm going to water it down. I should have got a clean bit of kitchen roll really. Let me just close this, because it's still picking up the purple from underneath. So let's just get rid of that risk. So remember, this is a chalk paste and it does start to dry relatively quickly. So if I left that out in the open, you can see it's already starting to, especially because it's warm. So I'm going to put a little bit on there. And I'm going to mix a little bit of water in it. And I'm going to stipple that. So I've just diluted that a little bit. You can see that hopefully. And I'm going to stipple this. I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker. So what we will end up with is lovely chalky flowers. If I went direct with the paste and then tried to shape the flowers, it would crack a little bit once it's dried. And I don't want my flowers cracked. Here's the ice cream van, on cue, right on cue. I wish it delivered. That would be good. So this is probably why Julia keeps getting these warnings from Facebook. I'm surprised I haven't had one because of the music from the ice cream van. So stipple, stipple, stipple. So we're adding colour and we're also adding a little bit of texture. Just a little bit of texture. So this actually does look like it's raised. It will dry smoother, but I want a little bit of texture on these. And then I'm going to clean the brush as much as I can. Put the lid on. They really should invent better lids. And then we'll go to the purple. So yeah, I don't mind messy as long as the end result is lovely. So I'll just bring this in and show you. So I don't know whether you can pick this up, I've got a few little white bits, but that's fine. Can you see we've got a little bit of texture on there? Just a little bit of texture, not too much, but just enough. So put them there, let those dry. It does dry really quickly, especially in this heat. Another bit of kitchen roll. Where are you? Just so I'm not contaminating the flowers. I'm going to do these in the lavender. That's one way of doing it. More water. And the stipple brush. Let's just see if I've got all that green out. I've got most of the green out. I've got most of the green out, so that'll do. So the only colour that's going on this project is from the chalk paste and the 2 distress oxides. And I'm tempted to actually smudge some of this whilst it's still wet. So I am. Put that there. Put that there. It's completely different to inks. I'm just going to make this a little bit darker. I'm just going to do some patches of this. Just whilst I've got this colour. I don't want to waste all that. Remember, it's going to be splattered and gessoed in a bit. Just put that to one side. I'm going to clean my fingers. I'll try and catch up with the comments just while I'm cleaning. Did you get your buns, Bev? So just flick to Facebook. Now trying to decide to put orange in your cake mix. I'll splat against the window. Ask him to throw you one through the window. It's too far away, Chrissy. I live at the top of a hill. It would splat against the window. The lid needs to have the handle a bit on it. Yeah, absolutely, Ellen, absolutely. Right. So I think I'm clean enough to carry on. Oh, bugger, I've just cleaned all that paint up, but oh, not to worry. Not to worry, not to worry. Right, so this is not quite dry. It's nearly there. It's only really not dry where it was thicker down there where I smudged the whole thing. Remember, we're not going to see an awful lot of this by the time I've done. So I'm going to do the splatting now. And I'm not splatting on that. I'm splatting on this. Right, we need to make a decision now. We need to decide between butterflies and dragonflies. I've got both. So we've got butterflies and dragonflies. Both will work. Right, first person to tell me you've missed a big bit. You've missed a bit on the big purple flower. I know, I've missed a bit on all of them on purpose. They've all got a little bit of white showing. They're going to be splattered in a minute. Paper towel, even the paper towel looks good. Right, nobody's decided, so I'm going to go with butterflies. Because I did dragonflies the other night. So this piece here is going to be splattered using the 2 oxides. And I'm also going to splat onto the chalk flowers. And I'm also going to splat onto the white flowers. So all of this is going in this box on the floor. And I'm going to do 3 lots of splatting. Oh, that's drying lovely. Oh, what's happened to the screen? The screen went funny on YouTube. It's back. Is it permanent on your fingers? Absolutely not. I wouldn't. Tracy, I would never use anything that leaves my fingers stained. You should know that. It's not messy when you're doing it for yourself. It's only messy when you're trying to do it as a as a demo. So I'm going to splatter the flowers with the 2 Distress Oxides and with white gesso. So I'm just putting the flowers in my box on the floor. So when I come to splatter over the coloured flowers, the flowers that are coloured with the chalk paste, the Distress Oxides will look darker. So you'll only really notice the gesso splats. But it's all about adding texture. So I'm going to go in direct with the Distress Oxides. Yeah, I've gone for dragon. Or did I say butterflies in the end? Everybody's saying dragonflies, so I guess I'm changing it. Doesn't matter to me, you know dragonflies are my favourite. So let's just change the bits over. Oh, there you are. Yeah, so I'm going in direct with the Distress Oxides. Remember to give them a shake. Do the Prima paste come in white? Yes, Jean. So there's a chalky white. I'll find mine and show you when we're finished. It's on the shelf up there, but it's on the top shelf. So there's a chalky white that you can mix in and dilute the darker colours. But I think we've only got 2 chalky whites left. I have got them on order. So I'm going to take the nozzle out of these and stamp directly and just splatter directly. Bear with me. So that is the forest moss. And remember, the forest moss is slightly different in the oxide to the Distress ink. It's a bit more olive. It's not actually the best green to go with the Kingdom moss. I could have gone pine needles really, but I didn't. So I've splattered those on the floor, and now I need to just splatter them with gesso. Watching on the phone as YouTube keeps pausing. Ah, strange. I have noticed a couple of technical issues over on YouTube, but I'm assuming it's just the weather. So I'm actually watching on both. So we're going to splat with the gesso now. And then hopefully by the time I've done all this splatting, the chalk paste is going to be dry enough for me to start gessoing over, to use the primer over to soften it all. I'm going to show you in a minute what my lovely inky box looks like. Because it looks fabulous. So that's all the gesso splats done. used about 15 wipes so far. No, I'm exaggerating. 10. I like to show you something different each time, so we're still doing vintage, we're still doing shabby chic, but we're using different products and still achieving a really pretty result. So let's come back to these bits. That's not quite dry yet, so we're going to have to leave that. I'm just going to see if I can get the box on the desk. Bear with me one sec. What type of brush do you use to splatter with? It's just called a fan brush, Irene. So you can get. I got mine from Amazon. Julia gave me a link. So just search on Amazon for fan brushes, and don't pay a lot for them. You only need a cheapy one, really. Look, that's my splatter box. So everything is just sitting there as long as I can leave it to dry. And I don't know whether you can see, because I'm going to bring one in and show you, because the chalk paste is, which is a good one to show you, this one. Because the chalk paste is a water-based product. Can you see, oops, where are we? That the purple, the Dusty Concord Distress Oxide has bled into the chalk paste. So it's not only have we got a bit of texture, but we've got a bit of splatting going on there and a bit of colour mixing. So always leave your flowers as long as you possibly can to dry. This is nearly dry, not quite. And the background isn't dry at all. So while we're waiting, we are going to do the sentiment. So for those of you that haven't seen the Elegance Script sentiments yet, this is what they look like. I'm not restocking them, so you need to get them while I've got stock, because this is the third time I've topped up the stock, so I'm not going to restock them again. It's the last time. And I'm thinking I'm going to colour the shadow. So do I colour the shadow with paste, or do I colour it with ink? I'm colouring it with paste. Have you noticed I'm good at rhetorical questions? I'm leaving that white, so we have some white. I'm going to leave that white, and I'm going to colour the delicate one in the lavender colour. So up to now we've used the paste through a stencil. I've used it freehand. Oops, it's not quite dry. I've used it to colour and add texture to the die cut flowers. It's the weather rose, that's what it is. Rose is just saying on Facebook she can't keep her eyes open. It's my voice sending you to sleep. Put one on the... Yeah, treat yourself to some chalk paste, any colours, you'll love it. Put one on the back of your neck. I don't know what you're asking. What should I put on the back of my neck? I don't know whether I dare ask. Denise is just saying on YouTube, put one on the back of your neck. It's really cooling. I'm hoping she means baby wipes. Well, they're not baby wipes, water wipes. And now we're going to use it on this really, really delicate die to change the colour. And I'm going to stipple again. I could have done this while I got the stipple brush out, but I forgot. So we've now got a perfect colour match. Just remember, if you do this, you need to lift those off the kitchen roll before it dries, otherwise it'll stick into the kitchen roll. Isn't that lovely? Love. Isn't that lovely, love? Right. We're getting there. We're getting there. How long have we been? Oh, we've only been an hour. Could you use a heat gun or would it change the colour or texture? Elaine's just asking me on Facebook. I wouldn't use a heat gun. I would leave it to dry naturally. I would always leave things to dry naturally wherever you can, just because you get a better finish, I think. So if I had a forced, this is dry now, this bit's not, oh it is, it's all dry now. If I'd have force dried this bit here, it would have warped the card. But can you see the card's dried more or less spot on. If you put this on quite heavy on regular card, in fact let me show you, look. Can you see you have a bit of a, it's where the moisture from the product, as it's drying, it sucks the moisture out of the card, so you end up with a bump. It doesn't matter if you're doing it through a stencil or the way I've used it today. So I would leave it to dry naturally always. So let's stick this to the sentiment, to the shadow. That's now dry. That's dry already. Probably your eye with matchsticks. Even my glue's retired. It's too hot for it to work in this heat. So I'm just going to dab that into the glue. And pop it onto the shadow. And I've got no nails. That's just so pretty. The glue is drying so quick on my mat, that's how warm it is in here. And I've got the fan on, you can probably hear the fan in the background. I've got the fan on number 2. And I only normally have it on 1 when I'm doing a demo. Isn't that just lovely? Isn't that just pretty? And because I didn't have a cardstock that matched the paste perfectly, just used the paste. So we've got a lovely chalky finish. It looks fab. I'm leaving the dragonflies the colour they are. I'm not colouring the dragonflies at all. So while we're waiting, this is dry enough now for me to do what I want to do. So we're going to do a little bit of dry brushing now with the gesso. So more kitchen roll. And I do save all this kitchen roll once it's dried. I do reuse it because otherwise I would use loads. And I'm going to just I'm just going to use the gesso dry brushing over the edges. But to show you the layout this card's going to be, you're literally going to see bits of it. You're literally going to see bits of this. Yeah, you can see we're not going to see loads of it. So this is going to be dry brushed with white gesso. Keep up with us, Rose. We'll just see what everybody's saying. Hi Hope. Hope's just got on. That chalk paste is lovely. As you can probably get it there easily, Hope, because it's a Prima redesigned paste. You might even get it in hardware places. Put one on the back of your neck, Denise. A wet one, yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to try that, Denise. Denise has told me to put a wipe on the back of my neck, so I am. Oh, whether it stays on or not is another matter. It's on. Right, so we're dry brushing with the gesso. So I've taken a little bit out, pop it in the lid, and I'm literally just going to go over that chalk paste. Only at the edges, because that's all we're going to see. Oh, far too much. And then I'm going to wipe some of that off. And I'll use a wet. So if I'm going to wipe some of that gesso off, there's far too much on there. But if I do it with a water wipe, it will take too much off. So I'm just getting a damp. It's not damp enough. A damp bit of kitchen roll. There we go. So I'm just knocking that back a little bit. That's fab. I can cope with that. Do you see the difference it makes when you just do a little bit of the gesso over it? It brings the texture out and it softens the whole thing so it doesn't look so harsh. Keep it in the same direction as well. I'll bring this in and show you. Remember, you're not going to see much of this. You're just going to see the edges of this. Oh, I need to do this bit as well. I've regretted using that colour. So I'm going to tone that down quite a lot. Dry brushing, covers a multitude of sins. Look at the state I'm in today. What's that all about? Right. Oh. Don't use your dirty kitchen roll to do that. The baby wipes fell off my neck, but it was worth a try, Denise. It was nice while it lasted. Right, let me show you these. Let me show you this texture now in here. So all I did with that, and I'll tell you why I did that, because I think I used too much water on that when I spritzed it with water, and the purple's gone too purple, and the green, the forest moss has gone a little bit too olive. So I wouldn't, if I was making this card again for myself, I would probably go Villainous Potion and the other green, because they're a bit darker. That's a little bit too yellow for my liking. In fact, it might not end up going on, but we'll see. We'll see. So let me just show you this texture that we've got now with the gesso. It reminds me of Artex, but in lovely colours. Get to the bottom and you'll see the texture at the bottom as well. There we go. So we've got all that texture with the soft dusting of the gesso. And I love the fact that it doesn't make my card go all wavy. So let's start putting this card together. Because as you know, the flowers are going to take me a good 10-15 minutes. Oh crikey, I've not drunk much, have I? What a shame, Hope. I thought it... So Hope is just saying on YouTube, because I mentioned the chalk paste is a Prima, so it's probably more readily available in the States, and it's such a good quality product. It's probably in hardware stores. And Hope's just saying that there are very few craft shops there now, apart from the big ones that don't carry much like variety in product. That's such a shame. All the craft stores are suffering. Right, let me just get my layers in order. So I know that's the base, and I know that's for this one. So this one is going on here on pads. I've got 5 layers on this card. You absolutely could do this with a lot less layers. I'm just being greedy. Same with you. Do you know what, Elaine? I've got my slippers on. It's no wonder I'm hot. And they're Ugg slippers. So they've got wool lining. Oops. Wrong way. I think we're all ready for a thunderstorm, and then we'll all be complaining that there's no sunshine. It's just a different heat here than when you're abroad. I think that's why we can't cope with it. So this is going on foam tape because I want to glitter the edges of this, which again makes it look pretty. So I'm not using any glue. I'm just going to pop that on. Bear with me, I'm just bringing it closer to myself. Try and get it central. I'm not doing a very good job of getting that central. That will suffice. So little tips for you. You've got a little breeze down there. There is a breeze here, but I can't feel it in my room because I've got the curtains shut. So a little tip for you: when you're doing a project that has lots of texture and stuff going on, like I've got here, look, always split it up with plain coloured layers. So plain white. So plain white, look, it balances the texture and the colour that we've got going on. So that's why I've got 5 layers on this project. So this one's going on foam tape 2. No, it's not. I'll do it on glue just to be quicker. And all this time the flowers have been drying in the background. I'm just going to flip back to Sports Director emailing me. I've got no idea why, because I've never bought anything from Sports Direct. Incidentally, this is really interesting. So incidentally, there are way more people watching on Facebook than there are on YouTube. And yet, when I do it in the evening, there's more people watching on YouTube than there are on Facebook. So that's very, very interesting. And I don't know whether you know, Hope, because I know you order from my shows on TV, but you can order direct. You just need to email the girls at the shop. So quite a lot of, sorry, I'm just talking to Hope on YouTube. We've noticed quite a lot of our USA orders have been coming direct as opposed to TV. You just need to message the girls on the Honeypot Crafts Facebook page. I don't know why that is, unless there have been issues. Oops. I've no idea why that is, but they have noticed. So we are slowly but surely getting there. And I'm putting all these layers on now because I want to glitter them. So I can glitter these edges whilst we do the flowers, whilst we shape the flowers and everything. And then you'll see the whole thing coming together. So as ever, I think I'm going to have that heavy texture at the top. I think I'm going to have this heavier texture at the top. So turn it sideways, put it on sideways. Because it's the bottom layer, there's no glue going on. Is that straight? Sort of. I mean, look how different that looks now. And that's before I put any glitter on there. Isn't that lovely? I think I like the heavier at the top. I can't decide. So I'm just going to use the Diamond Dazzle. Close to highlights and all gone mail order. Yeah, there's still a small few there, but they do more business mail order. Yeah, absolutely. I guess that's how they survive. Hope. The flash floods. 32 in S6. Oh my god. It's global warming. They've been telling us about it for years. And as ever, governments have left it to the last kick. So I'm going around now with the glue onto this layer here, and that's going to be glittered. Which again breaks up the colour from the paste. It's all about balance. Don't worry if your glue drops onto the back or onto the bits you don't want it, it doesn't matter. It will look fab once it's glittered. Bear with me. I don't like a lot of Diamond Dazzle, as you know. And I'm just gonna, I don't know whether you can see, but if I hold that up, can you see in that corner where I dry brushed the gesso? The paste must have still been a little bit damp, so it's tarnished that colour in between. Well, I'm not having that, so I'm going in with some glitter. So I'm just following some areas of the gap in between the stencil with the glue. And I wouldn't have done that had I have not had that staining, but I'm doing it. And then that will cover up that mistake I made. So it covers it up and it looks pretty. I don't know whether this is your kind of program, everybody, but I've just started watching The Sandman on Netflix. My kind of thing, it's bloody marvellous. Well, look, so we've gone in between the gaps from that lovely stencil from Studio Light, and I've just put in some Diamond Dazzle in the gaps. So I'm going to pop that to one side and we're going to bring the flowers out now. I don't think I'm going to put this on because it's the wrong colours, so I'm not putting it on. We'll have an extra strip. Right. So I've done that lovely background. Have I got time to stamp it again? What time is it? 1 hour 20. 1 hour 20. What size is the card base, please, Phil? Jan, are you ready? Janice is asking me on Facebook what size the card base is. It's big. It's 24. 24 by 13 centimetres. I'm going to see if we get away with that. Because actually I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was. In fact, I don't know. No, it's not going on. So somebody, one of you, whoever wins one of these stamps, one of you will get that in with it because it's the wrong colour and I ain't got time to redo it. So flowers. Oh, they look lovely now. So let's just show you. So these have obviously got gesso and oxide sprays on top of them, and it actually looks fabulous. See if I can get those all in the shot. Have you closed the shop in Nottingham now? Yeah, I closed it last year, year before. Last year, we've only got the Sheffield shop now. I amalgamated it all into one. Right, so let's get these flowers shaped. And the gems I'm using are the ice diamond. So no colours on the gems, ice diamond. Oops, what am I doing? Flowers. Where's my sponge? Where's my foam mat? So the big flowers are having a purple top. Yeah, that's it. Purple, purple, green, green. Shaping tool. So remember, if you're going to get the Lacylicious Elegance flowers, which are the ones that I've got here, when you come to shape them, just be very gentle because they're quite delicate. So you can't shape them as much as I do with some of my flowers, because by the very nature with the lacy detail, it makes them quite fragile. And look how they keep the shape with the chalk paste on. Fabulous. So I'm just going around the edge of each petal just to give it a little bit of shape. I think I'm going to go, no, I'm going to go purple. I'm going to stick to my original plan. It feels like it's absolutely sweltering outside my room here. It's fabulous, Leslie. Sandman's brilliant. I've only watched 3 episodes, but I'm engrossed in it already. So I've only got 2 flowers that are doubled up. The rest are going to be individual. We're going to have a big diamond gem in the middle. And then I'm going to push that down with my tweezers. I haven't got Netflix, already got Sky, Disney, Prime. That's the same as me, Jennifer. You pay for your TV license, and we don't. We all please indulge yourself if we have time. Yes, I found that, and it gives Phill all the profit. What's that? What did I miss? Which one? TV, but often go to your shop to order as a kind of favourite thing. Oh, well that's how to do it. Yeah, I did not think you shipped to the US directly. Good to know. Yeah, absolutely. Hope you just need to message the girls privately on Facebook, or email my sister. If you message me later, I'll give you her email address. We've got quite a few people that do that now. So let's just put that on there. Yeah, that's the advantage. I give you different choices on the website of the size of the bundles you buy. So let's just shape these flowers quickly. And I've done a mix of coloured and plain white, as you know. When you've got heavy colour, like we have with this, it's nice to have some plain white just to break it up. So I'm just pushing around the outer edge of the petals. I love this shape of flower. Why do I always forget that I've got these? I'll tell you why I forget. That I've got these Lacylicious flowers. It's because I've got mine on an A4 magnetic sheet, and all my flower dies should be on A5 magnetic sheets, so they're in tubs of A5. And because I've got those in an A4, I forget that they're there. I won't forget again, mind you, they might have all gone. So I'm literally just roughing these flowers up on the edges. Yeah, so I've got Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Sky, Netflix. I haven't got Apple TV because it's just one too many. What else have we got? Amazon, Disney, Netflix, Prime, YouTube, yeah. Not YouTube, the other one, Netflix. Can't ever say there's nothing on the telly worth watching, because with all these different platforms now, there is. Right, so there we go. Oh, missed that one. And I should have a couple of spare plain white ones that I've left with nothing on them. Nothing on that, nothing on that. And nothing on this one. There's not many flowers on this card, just for a change. And when I say not many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, for just 14. Let's just get the gems in. I think I'm going straight in the shower when I've finished doing this. And while I've got you all here, so you know what the giveaways are this time. So it's going to be one or the other of the big background stamps. So somebody's going to get the stars, and somebody, I forgot what I said now. Somebody remind me. Did I say snowflakes on YouTube and stars on Facebook? Can't remember. So somebody needs to remind me. I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. Oh, not that one. Smaller ones. That's how warm it is. Even the wax is melting on the tip. Plenty of time. Has anybody reminded me yet? I have now TVs that have some Sky channels. Sky's extortionate. Everything is. Oh, that should have been a bigger one, sorry. Where do you live, Christina? Sea mist. Christina's saying she's had a sea mist this morning. I'm just trying to mix up the size of gems that I've got in the flowers so they don't all look the same. And we are almost done with gemming. Oops. That was my finger. So I'll just show you what these flowers look like now. No glitter on them. No glitter. That's the flowers for this card. Just a couple. Just a couple. I'll leave that there. So I've got one more job to do with the paste. I've just found that dirty kitchen roll. And I'm going to paint a couple of these flourishes. So because we're going with the dragonflies, and the dragonfly embossing folder is the one with this flourish on look. It's the same sort of flourish. So I'm choosing that one. And right on cue, we got the ice cream van and we get one of the emergency services every Saturday. You could almost gamble your wages on it. And then the other one, facing the other direction, which I've used. I will look back through the comments later just so I can reply to you. I do try to always reply. I guess the good thing about... Oh, what have I done there? The good thing about YouTube is the videos stay there all the time, so they're easily accessible. And you can go back and watch every time. So I've got one going that way, one going the other. What have I done to that? Oh, that's it. It's from this bit. And we'll paint these. So do we go green or do we go lavender? I think we go green. We're going green. There's Lacelicious, yeah, there is some Lacelicious Elegance flowers in stock, but there's only about 20, and then I think they'll be gone all together because I'm not reordering. must get these flowers. You must get these flowers pretty sharpish, because I can see already that people have been buying them while we've been on here. So I've got the flourishes here, and I'm going to do them just plain green. No, I'm not. I've changed my mind. We're going lavender fields instead. And I'll tell you why I changed my mind. Because I've used lavender field on the sentiment, and I want it to match. I think I'm getting converted to DL cards. I like DL cards. I just think they're easy to do the layout. You can't really do a DL card wrong. So I'm just taking off as much as I can from that. So I'm going to stipple this. So I'm stippling the paste onto these flourishes. So we've got the texture again, and it will dry pretty quick on greyboard. So the greyboard will absorb the excess moisture, which helps the paste to dry quickly. I won't bother with the bottom part because we're not going to see it. Just put a little bit more on there. Marvellous. You can see how little of this I'm using. And I just love a chalky finish. You know I do. Oops, too much. Oh. So I'm just stippling, trying to get some texture on this. That's better. That's it, marvellous. Back in the water pot. Don't let it dry on your brushes, so although it's a water-based product and your brushes will clean easily, you have elegance, enchanting, romantic, and in the lacelicious, so that means the sweetheart has gone. It is. Thanks, Susan. Susan's going to just saying it's going to be a fantastic card when I put it together, when I eventually get to it. So I'm just trying to show you the texture I've just put on that. There you go. You can just see that. So let's just pop that to one side and let it dry. The flourishes are going to be tucked underneath anyway. And I never drank none of my coffee again. Stop that, Treese. So Treese has just said on Facebook, her hubby's just giving her some homemade apple pie and cream. That's just tormenting me when I'm doing this. I'm just cleaning my hands before I get on to the next bit. I don't want dirty stains where they don't need to be. That's it. Right, so let's get this layering done. So I have decided I'm not going to use that. I've made my mind up. I'm not going to spoil a perfectly beautiful card. So this strip is going on with gel. Oh. So I'm just putting this smaller strip on with glue gel so I can squash it into the chalk paste. Let's go about there. So I'm pushing that down. It's got a little bit of dimension, but not too much. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm trying not to get my head in the shot. And then this one is going to go there. Again, on the gel. What? Green garlic bread? You go green, we're voting lavender. I've gone lavender. So that's how warm it is. Look, even the glue gel's struggling. That's not normally this messy a job. I'm going to move that so I don't drop it. Oh, come on. Even the glue gel's not playing nice today. Just have a little bit on there. It seems that nobody wants to work in the hot weather. Even glue gel. So I'm just trying to get it to balance because it's quite warm. There we go. Just check that that's straight. It is. I'm going to put this glue gel to one side. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to chuck it in the bin. I'll start a new one because it's doing my head in. Right, so I've got two little tags here. These are the I forgot what these are, and I forgot to show you them at the beginning when I did a list of what's Marion got to do with what? Overdosed on ice cream. I have no idea. I forgot what these are called. Scalloped edge tag dies. These are the ones that have the lovely little lacy top and the debossed dots in there. I'm going to have these going here. So I'm just going to stick these two together. And then I'm going to pop the sentiment on there. Now normally I would put the sentiment on with, in fact I'm doing it, with glue gel. Let's see if I can get any out of this one. It looks like Pin Flare doesn't like hot weather either, look. I'm just putting a little bit on just so I can raise this off the card a bit. So next year when we start planning live demos, I'm not doing any in July, August or September. Because the weather doesn't like me. So love. And with. I'm just trying to see where I want that. Yeah. with and love. And that looks marvellous there. Should have wore gloves. Me, husband has asked me to make it. Oh, I love lemon drizzle cake. Helen, you should bring some of that on Wednesday, darling. Lemon drizzle cake. Oops, my screen's just gone funny. I'm just flicking back to YouTube. So, just made a cappuccino. Fruit cider. I don't blame you, Karen. I will read back through the comments. I don't know whether I can reply to comments on YouTube. Does anybody know? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So I'm just seeing where I need to go with the glue gel. I should have put the tag on first. Oh, look at this, doing my head in. So I've got with love down towards the bottom, just making sure it's straight. It is. Right, so the flowers are going on next. The dragonflies are going to go on last. I know exactly where I'm going to put them. In fact, I'll let that just set for a second and we'll glitter the dragonfly. So I haven't added any colour to the dragonflies at all. And this is what will make this really quite pretty. You could colour them if you wanted to, but I'm leaving them white just with glittered wings. Oh, apart from that one I've just dropped onto floor. It's another good use for your pickup tool. So thin tweezers for this. So I'm glittering the whole wing and just leaving the body plain. That's what they look like though. Oh, they're beautiful. And I'm just going to do the other two as well. So in the dragonflies and the butterfly shabby dies, you get lacy and you get solid ones. So most people who have got them already will know this. So the three larger dragonflies or butterflies have a lacy and a solid equivalent, so you could put a coloured one underneath if you wanted to. I quite like to have them just plain. Just plain one or the other. But at least you've got choices. So I'm not going to glitter the whole of the lacy wing. Just the edges, because we don't want to cover that lovely lacy detail up. Even the glue is drying too quick. I can't even check the temperature in my craft room because my phone's the camera above. There we go. And now we'll put the flowers on. So I am using the cascading circles, but I'm going to use it in sections. So the cascading circles will be tucked underneath the flowers. The foliage, that has now dried. I'm just going to show you how that's dried, look. So we've got texture going on there. I'm not going to do anything else with those. They're going to get tucked in at the end. So flowers first. no glitter on the flowers. I'm leaving them plain. This is why I love the elegance flower. Look at the lovely shape you've got. I purposefully did, when these are from the second release I think of flower dies, and I purposefully did them with four petals. So as the collections of flower dies grow, you will end up with lots of different ways you can mix and match the whole sets. So for example, the daisies will work really well with these, and the daisies will work really well with these, and also the shabby dies will work really well with these. The time difference between the two has got bigger, just timed it, it's about 40 seconds difference. So Facebook is 40 seconds ahead of YouTube. How strange. It is my birthday on Monday. Yes, it is. I'm trying to forget it. No, I'm not. So let's get this put together. Why can't I do quick demos like normal people? We're still nearly 2 hours. Wrong tweezers. I can tell how warm it is because the glue gel, as you know, I always use glue gel to put my flowers on these days, but it's so warm, it's melting instead of sitting in place, which is a bit frustrating. For somebody like me who likes a couple of little flowers. So the cascading circles, I'm going to tuck them, I'm going to tear it now and just I'm going to tear it down now and just tuck a few little bits underneath. And I've also, I don't know whether you noticed from the tub I showed you at the beginning of the tub I showed you at the beginning, I've saved some of the circles from the waste. So I saved some of the circles, look, from the waste, just because they are nice to just dot on as extra texture. Got the key to do as well. I should have glittered that. Well, that's just been a shabby performance today, Phil. Let me just do this. I should have glittered the key so that I could have left it drying. Little tip for you. You can either use the glue with the brush in it, or just dip your finger in it. If you've left it too late, like I have, just dip your finger in it. We've got a lovely glittery key. And I'm going to do the same with the heart. So the heart and locket, the heart, locket and the key are now diamond dazzled. I think I've left it too late because the key should have gone down there. Yeah, I might not have the key on. Oh, come on, Phil. Get your act together. What's happening? It's the weather. I feel lovely that you're on my YouTube with this. Can watch you on your TV. Oh, thanks, Denise. You could add to the bottom once the live is over. I could do, yeah. Right, so let's get this tucked in. This piece is going down there. This is the problem with the hot weather and glue gel. They don't like each other. We will survive. Sorry, I'm trying not to squash this because it would just frustrate me. Spending all this time doing a lovely background, and then then the card gets spoiled because the glue gel's too soft. So I am actually going to put these in first. I would not normally put them in first. Normally I would tuck this kind of thing underneath my flowers, as you know, but it's just not playing nicely today. The weather, or the weather's playing nicely, which is not making my glue play nicely. And I hate it when things don't look perfect. Let's just leave that there for now. Right, I'm going to put the flowers on next. And then everything, I'm afraid, is going to have to get tucked underneath. So, because they're so stunning and detailed, wouldn't have it any other way. What did I... Oh, thanks, Lynn. That's what I'm saying. Why can't I do a quick demo like everybody else? Well, I tried to show you from start to finish. There's no point having things half done. So I'm putting the glue gel on the back of all these flowers so I can do it a little bit quicker, because it's just melting. Even the glue gel's melting. And if I was using gel medium, it would be even worse. Almost done. We don't do things in halves here. Oops. I wonder if I could afford a new a new toothpick. Right, so I am just going to put the heart locket on, because I want it there. So I need a little bit of twine. I think I'm going to go with the crafty one. So I'm just going to pop this on first. That didn't work, did it? I should put it on with glue gel. Normally I tie a knot in these, but I haven't. I've left it too late. And usually when I'm putting a little charm on like this, I would have it on with white glue, but it's just not playing nicely today. But we are getting there, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. And now we'll see the whole thing come together. Looking for a plain one. Looking for a splattered one. Purple one. White one. So I'm just doing like a, you know what I'm like with flowers. I'm just doing like a little swirly going up this side. I might not actually use them all, but we'll see. We shall see. We've still got to get the dragonflies on, so let's just see where we're at. Oh, I can't see what anybody said. If you hadn't said anything, Phil, you would never have known. What about Denise? What did I say? I forgot what I've even said. And if I'm ready for my holiday. When I get back from my holiday, I might start talking more sense. Can you see, look, the glue gel's melting so quickly, even my dragonfly can't sit still. It's so funny. It's not funny, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because I like precision, as you know, and they're just not going where they're supposed to go. Oh dear. I'm going to have a month off. Look, I'm delirious now. Right, so I need to tuck the little flourishes in first, and I'm not going to put any gesso on these. I'm going to leave these as plain colour. So it's dried quite nicely now, and I try and get in a bit closer. So there you go, look. So you can see we've got stippled texture on there. And I'm going to snip off the ends, and I'm going to try and tuck these in. So I always tend to snip off these little swirly bits on these. Yeah, that's perfect. And here we go with the glue gel. Let's see if it'll stay. Let's see if it'll stay sticky long enough. It's melting. It's so funny. Now, if I'd have been doing this on my own without being live on Facebook or YouTube, I can promise you the air would be blue. Oh dear. Hang on, I'm trying to get that further down. That's it. Oh dear. Do you know, I don't even know how many people are watching anymore. I've got fed up watching me. Oh, you are still there. I'm glad you are. Thanks, everybody. Even if I am delirious. So do I? Yeah, I do. I've lost the plot. Right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Finally. Finally. So I think we'll only have 2 dragonflies on this. No, I need the third one. So you know how I like to do really shallow cards that you can put in an envelope? Well, this is not one of them. This is not one of those. Come on, glue gel. Give me a break. So funny. So funny. Let's just have one more up here. And I need a coloured one down here. Right, let me just have a look, because I know where the last dragonfly is going. I've just got to decide whether I want any more of the circle texture. I do. I'm just going to pop this little bit there. I've nearly done everybody. You'll be glad. You can all go and lay down in a darkened room when you've finished watching me. Because after I've been in a shower, I'm going to lay in a darkened room. Oh, that's hilarious. And I'm going to cry about my glue gel. That's just not behaving nicely today. Right, I think we are done. Have I forgot anything? No, I've got one flower left over. I've got one flower left over. Do we think it needs it? No, I don't. No, I'm not putting that on. Other words you don't hear me say very often. Air would be blue. I don't know what you... No, you won't ever hear me swear, but you not on lives anyway. You might hear me if you meet me at a show. So I'm just going to finish off with a couple of little gems, and then I'm going straight in the shower. So a couple of random gems, and then we are done. There is one flower left over, but I don't think it needs it. So I'm going to leave that over there just in case I change my mind later. And we're just going to have a couple of little random gems, because you know I like to do that. Just for a little bit of bling. Do I want one there? No, I don't. just about finished, everybody, and then you can all have a breather. Oh, I've got to... Can anybody remember which stamp I said was which platform? I can't remember myself. So somebody's going to win the star background, and somebody is going to win the snowflakes, the vintage snowflakes background. So let's have a look at the finished card first. I can't believe I've actually finished it. The key, I should have put the, if I'd have put the key on sooner, I could have got the key in as well, but I left it too late. It's my own fault. It's nobody else's fault except for my own. So let's have a close-up look at this card that I have eventually finished. Even if the glue gel is melting, so I can't tip this up too much, but we'll have a close look from top to finish, top to bottom. So we've got that lovely texture in the background from the two chalk pastes, and the chalk pastes I've used are Kingdom Moss and Lavender Fields. So we've got the texture from the stencil with the diamonds, the Shabby diamonds. You've got more texture with the cascading circles dies. I mean, I love these sentiment dies anyway, you know I do. So we've got the With Love there sitting on the tag. We've got flowers that we've created from the Lacylicious Elegance flower dies, and we've coloured them with the same two chalk pastes, and then we've splattered some of them with the chalk paste and gesso. Yeah, I've glittered around that layer to separate the colour. So we've got a gap in the colour. I will take a proper photo of this later when it's eventually set, because the glue gel might take forever to set. Just one more thing I'm going to do while you're still here. Can you see under there, look? You can see where the glue gel's showing. Well, I can't have that, so I'm going to just glitter it. That's better. So now you don't really see the glue gel, you just see the sparkle because the glitter's covered it up. So I absolutely love that, and when I know you can't see the colours particularly well, so I will take a proper photo and try and get the colours to show a little bit more, but I promise you that is not grey. It is a lovely dusky purpley lavender colour. So I can't remember which place we said people were gonna win. You can see now why I didn't put that on, because it's the wrong colours. And I can't remember, so I will have to look back, see if anybody's told me. Stars on Facebook, thanks Jean. So the Vintage Stars journal page background stamp is going to go to one of the people from the comments on Facebook. So I'll do that one first. Oh, thank you, Donna. That's me being... Can I just say, Donna's just said that I'm incredible, and that's fantastic and breathtaking. Thank you. Even with the glue gel not behaving. So I'm just scrolling through the comments now on the Facebook page to see who's won the Vintage Stars background stamp. There's quite a few comments. So scroll. And the winner is Linda Jenkins. So Linda Jenkins, if you're still watching, congratulations. You have won the Vintage Stars background stamp. So please send me an inbox message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with your name and address and remind me what you've won. So back over to everybody on YouTube. Oh, thank you, Lynn. It's pretty into... I can't get it all in the shot, look, because I've done a DL XL DL card. Hopefully you can see that. That's how deep it is. So it's definitely not a card for posting in an envelope. And then the Vintage Snowflake stamp is for somebody from YouTube. So thank you for staying all this time and putting up with my my delirious demonstrating. So let's have a flick through all the comments on YouTube. So I'm literally scrolling, like you can see at the side. I'm scrolling through all the comments. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And we have landed on I haven't stopped yet. So I've landed on I've landed on Claire Burkett. So Claire Burkett, if you're still watching on the YouTube channel, thank you for staying, everybody, all this time. Send me a message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, a private message with your name and address, and you will get one of these lovely beauties through the post one day next week. So quick reminder for everybody, well, before you all abandon me and disappear, if you are watching on Facebook, you can find the YouTube channel by searching on YouTube for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours, and please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me build up my audience. Thank you very much. We also have our own Facebook group, which is called the same thing, Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. So search for that on Facebook and ask to join the group. I am fussy, so you do need to accept the rules when you ask to join our Facebook group, so that I can check you are a genuine crafter before I let you in. All the products that I've used today, assuming that they are in stock, will be on the website honeypotcrafts.co.uk, and I have popped links on the description for the live today on Facebook and on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter if you search for Phill M. Martin. You can find me on Instagram, again, Phill M. Martin. And obviously, that is it, I think. Have I forgot anything? No, I think that's everything. So thank you, everybody. I'm glad you've managed to stay for that length of time. We will be back on Tuesday. No, we won't. Wednesday evening. I'm sorry, everybody, I can't do Tuesdays for the next 3 or 4 weeks, so I'm relegating to Wednesday evenings. So the next YouTube and Facebook live demo will be on Wednesday evening, and I have 2 box kits to give away for that demo. So whether you watch on Facebook or YouTube, there will be 2 different box kits to give away. So hopefully you can join me on Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. And I think I'm going to do some air dry clay and some moulds on Wednesday night, because I want to show you how you can use these on air dry clay as well. So that is me done. I'm completely demented with deliriousness. So thank you, everybody. Have a lovely rest of the weekend. I hope you've enjoyed that and learned something again about how to use the chalk paste and how to put a lovely oversized DL card together. I'll pop the photos on Facebook probably tomorrow night because I'm demented, but I will take a photo tomorrow and put it on the Facebook page. So thank you, thank you, everybody. Have a lovely rest of the weekend, and I will see you on Wednesday night on 7 o'clock. So thanks, everybody.